Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanav Bhunaktu Sahavir Yankaravavahi Tejasvinabdhitamastu ma Vishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So yesterday we saw meditation on the union, the experience of the union, not the union actually. Meditation on the experience of the union. Okay, we'll come to this. lehanāmanthanākoṭaiḥ strīsukhasya bharātsmṛteḥ śaktyabhāve'pi deveśi bhavedānandasaṃplavaḥ. lehana amanthana akoṭaiḥ strīsukhasya bharāt smrteḥ śaktyabhāve'pi deveśi bhavedānandasaṃplavaḥ. Here he is bringing the same experience. Like we saw the union or sexual intercourse as the subject matter of the previous shloka. This shloka also has the same subject matter. Lehana amanthana akoṭaiḥ. The different kinds of experiences during the act. Lehana, lehana is the root word, to lick, to kiss, etc. Okay. Then amanthana, to churn, meaning to hug, to embrace, etc. And akoṭaiḥ, the love bites, the marks of nails or teeth, etc. The different things. So, strīsukhasya bharāt, whatever happens during this, that happiness which is gained, all these are pain, but that is a pleasure also in the act. So, whatever happens through the woman, that, remembering that experience, strīabhāve'pi, even without the woman, even without the aid of the woman, śaktyabhāve'pi means even without the aid of the woman, even without the association with the woman. Hey deveśi, O Lord, O great goddess, when you are remembering that experience, even without the help of the woman, aid of the woman, association with the woman, union with the woman, then you gain, there is a flow of that great bliss. That is what the shloka says. Lehana means, as I said, kissing. It's from the root word lehane, to lick. Okay. So, Shiva Upadhyaya explains this as a kissing the mouth, the French kiss. Okay. Or even the simple licking or kissing everywhere. Manthana means amanthana means to churn, meaning if you want, you can take it directly in the association of the woman and the man, or the hugging or embracing of a woman and man. That also can be taken as a manthana, churning. Okay. So akoṭaiḥ means the different parts of the body, you have the marks, the love bites, etc. That is what is akoṭaiḥ. Strīsukhasya, that whatever happens, these experiences through the woman, that śaktyabhāve'pi, even while the woman is not there, even without the association with the woman. See, when there is no cause, there can be no effect. When there is no cause, the woman, there can be no effect of happiness through that. But what he is now prescribing is, Bhairava is prescribing is, even in the absence of the woman, the embracing, etc., meditating about it, not thinking, meditating about the experience gained through that. Not meditating on the union, but the different kind of experiences gained through that with intensity, meditating with intensity. That is why he says śaktyabhāve'pi bharāt, bharani, root word, to hold on to. When you intensely hold on to each of those experiences, minute changes, minute experiences there, then you will understand bhavedānandasaṃ. There is a flow of bliss, which is not because of the woman. You clearly understand the bliss I am experiencing is not because of the woman, it is my inherent nature. So that flow of a bliss takes place. Now, this is also a śaktyabhāve'pi, you have to remember. So, another thing, these two experiences are based on the sexual act, right? So, because these two dhāraṇās are said, I have said this already, I am repeating it, because these two dhāraṇās are said, we don't have to experience them. And whoever has experienced those need not practice this. There are enough dhāraṇās here to practice. We don't have to enter into this dharana. Then why is it said? Like we said in the Kama Sutra, it is said for people who are not able to get rid of it, not able to gain the dispassion, for them this is said to experience it properly. Okay. Similarly here, for people who are not able to get rid of this vasana, this impediment, this thought imprint, for them this is said. So, using the experience itself, see, people may gain this little dispassion and suddenly, oh, I'm not going to do all this. I'm going to get rid of all this. I'm going to practice spirituality. But the experiences you have had for all these years are going to catch up with you and they are going to taunt you, because you are carrying, wherever you go, you are carrying your dirty mind. So, it is not going to leave you at peace. So, for example, we have examples like this for in Puranas, etc. Like example, you take Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra is a great Rishi. Later, Vasishtha himself called him Brahma Rishi. Brahma Rishi, the title Brahma Rishi is given only to Brahmins. And the only Kshatriya who got the title Brahma Rishi is Vishwamitra. Okay. The story is Vishwamitra was a king and he had a duel with another, not king, a Rishi. So he challenged, okay, if you can have this experience, I can also have this experience. He had Kamadhenu. That's the only problem. Okay. Anyway, Kamadhenu is a cow, wish-fulfilling cow. So he said, if you can have this through your penance, I will also gain this. So he goes, he gives up his kingdom. He goes to the forest and he sits in meditation. So he is a king who had experienced all this. So what happens? That happened there. Which is the celestial woman. She presents herself in front of him. It is said to disturb his penance. Okay, that itself is his disturbance. She is not coming there to disturb him. His mind is disturbing him by projecting that. The mind has all these experiences. So after so long of meditation, long period of meditation, his mind projects a damsel in front of him. She is dancing and all that, and he has a union with her. Gets a menaka. She gets a baby and all. Anyway, that's a different thing. The thing is, wait. Vishwamitra is a projection of Vishwamitra? Of course. Why will Menaka, a celestial damsel, come and dance in front of this old fellow? She has enough people in there in the heaven or even here. Why will she go to in front of this old fellow? But if it is his projection, he should know, right? Which fellow, which person who projects things understands. The projector, this rope snake, we don't understand its rope snake. We project the mother of pearl silver. We don't understand its mother of pearl silver. We project this whole world. We don't understand this whole world. So a person who projects need not understand it. Moreover, it is real. How can this whole world is real for us? Forget it. He has enough power of penance. He created a different heaven for this fellow called Trishanku. Trishanku is a king who wanted to go to heaven with this physical body. He was sent to He came to Vishwamitra, he prayed to him, see, please send me to heaven. I don't want to go to heaven after death. I want to go in this body. He goes there on the doorsteps, the gatekeepers, they kick him off. He comes back. So when he falls, he calls Vishwamitra, what is happening? So he says, okay, Guru, what is happening? So he says, stop there. He creates a heaven. That kind of power he had. So making this projection real is not a big deal for him. So think this, the mind is there, it projects even there. Okay, so for people who are engrossed in this experience and who are not able to get rid of that, we are not asking him to meditate on the experience, how the experience moves, but the bliss which is gained in the experience, that is what we have to meditate on. Okay, otherwise, if you are going to meditate on the process, then you are going to get carried away. That is daydreaming. Okay, now next, that is also śaktyabhāve'pi. I already said. ānande mahati prāpte dṛṣṭe bāndhave cirāt ānandamudgataṃ dhyātvā tallayastanmanā bhavet. ānande mahati prāpte dṛṣṭe bāndhave cirāt ānandamudgataṃ dhyātvā tallayastanmanā bhavet. When you experience a great amount of happiness, or when you experience the happiness on seeing your relative or friend, meditating on the root of that happiness, one becomes that and merges in that and becomes that. Okay, that is the meaning of the shloka. Ānande mahati prāpte. Mahati means great. Prāpte, gained. Ānande. When the great amount of happiness is gained. Great amount of happiness. What is that great amount of happiness? So, like we saw in the pranayama process flowing to the chakra process, and the chakra process coming before to the pranayama process. Meaning the dhāraṇās which are said before flows to the later, which is said in the former verses flows to the later verses. And the dhāraṇās which are said in the later verses also flows to the former verses. This we saw. So here also ānande mahati prāpte, when you have gained a great amount of happiness, which is a happiness through sexual reunion also. Ānande mahati prāpte, when you gain great amount of happiness with respect to the next shloka, which is after gaining a good food and all. Okay. Or ānande mahati prāpte, simply put, we'll take it from here itself. What is that? When you gain great amount of happiness, like you are a beggar, you don't have money, you gain a lottery or you gain a treasure. So that happiness. Okay. Now be careful. We are not asking you to meditate on the happiness, like we said there. Remember this. dṛṣṭe bāndhave cirāt. dṛṣṭe, or on seeing. Va means or on seeing. Bāndhave means bandhu, relatives. Tumeva bandhuscha sakha tumeva. Right? Bandhu means relative. Relative, cirāt, who is long lost. You have not met him for so long. After long, cirāt, after a long period, you are meeting your friend or your relative. It can be friend or relative. Okay, like nowadays they have this class reunion. The old fellows, they meet in their school or college where they study. And what happens? These old fellows, they'll behave like kids with their friends. They'll remember their old days and they'll start behaving like kids. Now, this ānandam, you gain bliss. When you remember, you see someone after long, or when you see your eyebrow immediately goes up. Like, right? That is the ānanda. So that's the expression of ānanda. Now, ānandam udgatam. What we have to meditate on is udgatam. Udgatam means from where it arises. The place of rise of this ānanda. That is what is japa, that is what is dhyana, that is what is meditation. Meditation is to find the place where it starts, whatever. Here we are talking about the bliss. This is not the first time we are saying, oh, this is not the first time we are seeing this. We have seen this during the pranayama practice also. We saw in the heart, dvadashanta. We remember the word dvadashanta, right? The dvadashanta, we have to meditate. Dvadashanta is the place from where the prana arises and the apana merges. So, what is said here is from the place where this bliss arises, you have to catch hold of it at the point of rising, when it comes out. Let us see this. See, the heart is place for two kinds of functions, thoughts, functions. One is a jnana vritti, the other is a kriya vritti. Jnana shakti and kriya shakti. One function is a knowledge function, the other function is action function. Okay. Knowledge function takes place when there are different emotions, happiness, etc. Those kind of vrittis. And kriya is the prana shakti. So they start from the same place. The origin is same. So when the ānanda, when the happiness arises, at that very place where it arises, just catch hold of it. When you do that, meditate, dhyātvā, dhyātvā, when it arises, meditating on that point of origin, then you will rest in that. Laya means you merge, you rest in that, you get immersed in that, you become that. ānandamudgataṃ bhavet, you become that. Okay, this is also a śaktyabhāve'pi. So you can practice, because it is based on some object, so you can practice this if you want. I cannot make you to practice. Okay, you can see also like that. Okay, wherever that happiness, what is the ānanda we are experiencing? We are not experiencing any ānanda. We are not seeing someone whom we have not seen after long. So this experience is on that particular period, not getting carried away by the experience, but focusing on the place of the experience. Okay, next. jagdhipānakṛtollāsa-rasānandavijṛmbhaṇāt bhavedbharitāvasthāṃ mahānandastato bhavet. jagdhipānakṛtollāsa-rasānandavijṛmbhaṇāt bhavedbharitāvasthāṃ mahānandastato bhavet. When you are eating some food or when you are drinking something, because of that there are three stages of experience: ullāsa, rasa, ānanda. A joy, a jubilance, and you have the energy flowing, and you have the satisfaction. So bhavedbharitāvasthāṃ, and that satisfaction, that satisfactory period, there is a state of wholeness. That wholeness you have to meditate upon. Then you become the absolute bliss, mahānanda. You gain that great bliss. Okay. Now, jagdhi normally is a word which is adhabhakshane, which is normally taken as a word for food. But here it is not just a simple any food. Food is of four types. Three types is because there is drink, that is another fourth type. Three types is the one which you chew, the one which you just swallow without chewing. Third one is licking. Okay, and fourth one is drinking. Now the three kind of food we are seeing. Now, when do we eat that food? When you are there, when there is a great hunger pang, you have not eaten for long. Now, at that point of time, you are given something, even a spoiled food, does not really matter. You won't be arguing about it. You just want some food. Give me something. So at that point of time, there is a happiness. Okay, that we'll come to that happiness. Second, um, thirst. We are completely thirsty. At that point of time, whatever drink is given to you, you don't discriminate between what kind of drink and what is not. You just drink it. It may be water, it may be wine, does not really matter. Even if it is urine, you don't really matter actually. It doesn't really matter for you. How is it so? Yes, we have seen such experiences explained by people who are stuck in a cave or something. When there is an earthquake, they are stuck in their room. They have to be evacuated. Now they have to quench the thirst, so they drink their own urine. So even that becomes a drink. So during this drinking or eating, there are three stages of experience. Like for anything to be achieved, there are three stages of activity. One is knowledge, the other is desire, the third is action. For anything to be achieved, you have to follow these three stages: jnana, ichcha, pravritti. Similarly, for any experience, for food or thirst, food or drink, you have to follow it. It follows three stages. First stage is ullasa. Ullasa is a tushti, happiness. Next is a rasa. Rasa is pushti, energy. Third is ānanda. Ānanda is your satisfaction, trupti. Tushti, pushti, trupti. Okay, remember this. First, ullasa. Ullasa means you have taken the food. Now, you are given a very good food. Now you say, what a food it is. Or like the Italian says, mamma mia. These are all expressions, external expressions. This is called as ullasa. Okay, that is the first. This is external experience using the body sensory complex. The second experience is that gives you tushti, happiness. You are expressing your happiness. Okay. Second is pushti. Pushti means pusha poshane, to nourish. The food you eat or the food you drink, so that sends the energy to the parts of body which is not nourished, which is dry, without any nourishment. That energy, when it hits that spot, it becomes activated. That nerve or that spiritual nerve, nadi, becomes activated. That is what is called as a rasa. Third, when you have eaten or have drunken some food or drink, now your hunger is removed and your thirst is removed. That is trupti, satisfaction. That is ānanda. That satisfaction is happiness. So that is what is your experience of bliss. So he says, meditate on that. Why rasa ānanda? Because he brings Taittiriya Upanishad. Raso vaisaha rasakyevāyam labdhanam dibati. That is rasa itself. And gaining that rasa, this fellow becomes ānanda, happy. Okay. So now here he is bringing a next step. Vijṛmbhaṇāt, it is said. When you meditate on that, when you gain that wholesome experience, a fulfillment. Bhavedānandasaṃ, a fulfillment, a wholeness. So that wholeness is explained. See, normally this takes place. A bhogi, a person who is experiencing, also eats, drinks. A yogi who experiences the self, the bliss of the self, or the bliss of Bhairava, he also eats and drinks. What is the difference? So he is explaining the difference in the commentary. Shivopadhyaya explains the difference in the commentary, which is even when he drinks or eats something, when the bhogi, the one who is enjoyer, he drinks, he is just carried away by it. He just loses himself. But a yogi never loses the sight of himself, even during the drinking or eating. So that is what is the state. So that person, one who does not lose the sight of his self, even while drinking or eating, even while enjoying the drinking or eating, should not be condemned, should be worshipped. That is what he says. We have two examples for this also. Two examples. I will give two examples. One is Appaya Dikshitendra, a great saint called Appaya Dikshita. He wanted to test his establishment in the knowledge. So he calls his disciple. He crushes this dhatura seeds or some intoxicant. He takes some intoxicant. In that inebriated state, he just blabbers, and he tells the disciple to record whatever he blabbers. And a book is written during that state, Shiva Puja Paddhati, something like that. So he's even during that inebriated state, that he is establishing that Shiva. Okay, this is one experience, one example. The another example is 300-400 years ago. This also, Dikshitendra also is only that area, that period. Father of Malayalam language. Kerala has, South India, there is Kerala. Kerala has this language called Malayalam. Malayalam is a new language. The father of the language, they say, is Ezhuthachan. He is a great saint, poet. There was this Bhattadri, Vishnu Bhattadri. So he wrote a very good text on Bhagavata in Malayalam or Sanskrit, I'm not sure. Sanskrit, I think, yes. So he wants to write, he has decided to write a text on Bhagavata, abridged version of Bhagavata, but he doesn't know where to start. So he sends his servant to meet this Ezhuthachan. Bhattadri is a Brahmin. Ezhuthachan is non-Brahmin. He is of a lower caste. He sends his servant to meet him and ask him from where to start. The servant goes to meet him. And Ezhuthachan is sitting in his veranda, drinking and eating fish as side dish. So this fellow, this servant, he is not ready to ask a person who is drinking in this stage, because these are all taboos, right? So he is just standing there. Ezhuthachan sees him. He says, "What? Bhattadri sent you?" "Yes." "What does he want now?" "So Bhattadri asked me to ask you where to start Bhagavata." So he drank this toddy. After drinking this toddy, he took a fish and then asked him to start with this, and he ate that fish. And he sent him away. This fellow came back. He is not ready to tell Bhattadri that he wanted you to eat fish, because that is what he said, right? Ask him to eat fish first, then he can write. Ask him to start from this. He was silent. Bhattadri asks him, "What did he say?" "I am not asking what you think he said. Just say what he said." Then he says ad verbatim, this is what he said. "Oh, idiot. He said to start with Matsya Avatara, the fish avatara of Vishnu. You have confused yourself and myself." So he wrote the text on Bhagavata from the Matsya Avatara. Okay, so that is what, even in that inebriated state, he is not lost. If a person is not lost, he has not his own self, the focus on his self. In whichever state, that person should not be considered as a bhogi, but should be considered as a yogi, and he should not be condemned for that. He should be worshipped. Okay, we'll see this. Om Purnamadaః Purnamidam Purnāt Purnamudgataṃ Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Actually, this is also a Shakta Upaya. Okay, this is also Shakta Upaya. So this also need to be practiced only when we do all this. Om Purnamadaః Purnamidam Purnāt Purnamudgataṃ Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.